Hi, Paul Hefty here. I want to talk to you today about the Split Zone RPO from the Triangle football system. What we're going to do with Split Zone here is, even if you're not a zone team, I like to use this as the first thing to install because it sets a great foundation for how we scaffold concepts off of one blocking scheme, but also then it's safe and sound, good learning for your linemen working double teams. First off, as we do this, again, with all of our system, what we want to do is make the most complex the core, the base. So we're going to run RPOs as our base, and that would be just your regular call. If we want the receivers to block and make it a give all the way, we simply do a bongo signal. We don't need to make a call. That tells block the man on or over, and it's a give all the way. We can add the alert signal, which is just from the play caller to the quarterback, tell him to be alert of read, defender, blitz, or fill, and now it turns it into what we call a PRO, and that means he can think pass first. This really becomes your quick passing game. We can turn it into a play action pass all the way with a lineman when you add a north signal, which is hand on top of the head. We think of the face as a compass. So anything at the top of the head is going to be a north cue to the lineman, and then that tells them it's play action pass, same blocking, but we're going to go ahead and stay on the line of scrimmage, just pass all the way. If you add a central, which is central of the face, middle of the face, now as a prefix to the call, it turns into a PDO, or a pass draw option. The quarterback now has the option of passing it. The linemen are going to pass set initially. The back knows he's going to fake and not get the ball. But then after a 2 count, nothing happens. Now we're going to go right into full phase downfield run blocking, and the quarterback would follow the back as he blocks that conflict defender and turns it into quarterback draw. And then last, on the bottom of the face would be south on the compass. We're going to show you a split screen that you can run off of this whole split zone RPO. Again, teaching, you're not going to run all of these, but you can start with the basic piece, and I'll show you how you can pick which ones fit your personnel with that. The next thing you can do is you can do, again, you don't have that traditional blocking H-back. You can go to spread sets. 2 ways you can do this is you just simply keep the H-back in, and he's going to be running receiver type routes. Or you can substitute, and we do an eagle personnel, just a signal, and now we just bring in another A receiver, which is our slot typically, in is at the H, knowing we're going to run spread 4 wide receiver sets. Last thing that we learned from Northwestern we like to do is we have our quarterback in a play call when he's verbalizing this to the lineman. If we do an RPO, he actually calls out the number of the read key defender. It's great identification and practice for both the quarterback and recognition for you as a coach. The key to all of this is you're going to see split zone, what we call slice zone, spread zone, and then finally H split screen, where we're going to use one simple blocking scheme. Linemen are doing split zone, inside zone blocking all day using covered uncovered principle. All right, before we get started, the key to this, as I said, you're not going to run all of this, but you want to package the plays to your personnel. We call this your best return on investment, ROI. Again, real simple. If you've got that running quarterback, dual threat, you'll do a lot of slice zone, which is traditional zone read. We're reading that defensive end, and it really turns into what we call an RRO, run read option, after our pre-snap, when we're in post-snap phase. If you've got that quarterback who's a traditional thrower and you don't want him running the ball, now we're going to do a heavy dose of split zone pop, where we're reading a second level defender post-snap is a give or a pass. Okay, and then the other variations with that. Again, we'll use a pre-snap phase, so this is why we like to do this in our first teaching. It establishes what we call ANA, access, no access, numbers principle. And then third would be our post-snap read. We're going to have that read key defender post-snap pass or give typically. The neat thing with the system is we can read almost every defender at all 3 levels teaching this one system. So we'll do split zone, where we use what I call a Penn State bubble. That's a pre-snap RPO. We can get into split zone then, which is a post-snap RPO. Slice zone, pre-snap RPO, but then post-snap it turns into that run option, traditional zone read. And we can get into spread. We'll show you how we concept teach that. And then last, how we take the run screen option out of this really is what it ends up being. from our inside zone or split zone. First off, and as I explained, real simple, is we want to make sure we're checking the run box and the defenders over these number 2 receivers, so in a 2x2 set. Do we have access to throw the football is what we're saying. If we have access to throw the football, that means we've got bad numbers in the run box, so we should be throwing the football anyway. If we've got no access where they're outside covering the defenders, now we know we've got good numbers. So for example here, we know we've got 6 defenders with the H-back, that gives us 6 blockers. We're in good shape. Now we're going to read one of these conflict defenders, either a safety or a backer, or even the defensive end. So that's your access, no access, what we call ANA. Again, it's more important how you do things than what you do. So we're going to show you a real simple, before we get started, kind of teaching progression we like to use, and this is why we like to use it first. This is actually a Penn State practice structure that I got from Joe. Shows you similar things that we're trying to do. So first off, after you stretch, what we like to do, we're a big screen team, is whatever you're installing for your screen that day or that week, is this can be your way you start practice after stretching. What we do here, and we'll take the split screen for example, is we can just go right from the 5. The offense is going to go ahead and run this on air against coaches. We still go through signals, do the process, and the idea is they run it perfectly, they score, and then they sprint through the end line and back around. If you've got 2-3 groups now, that second and third group, just mirror exactly what the first group goes, and we get a nice rotation. You can do this in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want to do. Second phase then is you can do what we call team tempo. You can do it where you start in those team situations, and now we take just split zone concepts that we want to focus on that day. You can go on air and start from the 20-yard line, run a play, then one from the 10, and then could finish up on that goal line situation. Again, rotating through. After that, then no matter what we do, we always want to come back to fundamentals, and we just go ahead and fit up and drive here. We get center snaps, and the other position or with their position coaches working basic fundamentals. Great way to start every day. Then, since again, whether you're a big zone team or not, 5 minutes of this every day is just great fundamental work. So we call this our zone drill. So we're going to have 3 quarterbacks going here, and we're going to have the inside quarterback doing the post snap, doing a run read with a coach as the read defender, defensive end. We're going to go ahead and have the quarterback this side is a pre-snap throwing the bubble, and we're going to have the quarterback to this side throwing the out go, with backs going through and faking and then blocking each other in that phase if they don't get the ball. The linemen at the same time then can be doing run scheme. Now you can be working with as a group. Again, coach just serves as the quarterback, so that center's still getting snaps, can control the defense and tell them where to move and go. And great scheme review, or what we call inside huddle. So here's split zone. What we're going to do here is the way we run split zone is it's a gut play to a cutback type play. So even though we're running this towards the H to the left, again, lightning is the call. It's really going to be an A-gap play to a cutback play. So the conflict defender is really this weak side Mr. Zero when we run split zone, because the H is going to actually kick out that defensive end. So we're going to call this is a duo right formation. Again, we're going to signal opposite with the opposite hand, so it's as the players see it. So this would be a duo right, and then we're going to go ahead and go lightning is the FSU chop like this again with that hand. What you get here is the X every time runs the outgo. The H is always going to block the backside defensive end away from the call, and the A and Z are always going to run a bubble. Pre-snap read, we just look for, do we have access either side? If we have access to the bubble, the quarterback simply gets this, and he turns, and he's going to throw that right now. No mesh at all. Same thing with the out-go. If we've got a chance for an out or a go, we've got leverage, access to take that. He's going to catch that, get stuck right into his rhythm, and go with it. The line in the back at the same time, though, we're always running split zone. Again, if we want to turn this into a PRO, having the quarterback think pass first, we don't have to make any call. We simply get one pointer on the eye telling him alert, and that gives him the okay to think pass first. Again, with this phase, you're saying, hey, I believe we have leverage, or I just feel like we've got a matchup here we want to exploit one-on-one. Next one is you can run this actually away. You can call this away from the H. This is where the H has to understand the concept of the play. So again, he's always blocking the backside or the defensive end away from the call side. So if he lines up already on the backside, he simply does what we call a J block, takes a J path to go ahead and get his head inside that defensive end. So again, if you've got good numbers here, you can go ahead and call that duo left, and we can go into lightning. The H has to know he's staying put and using his J block. Here's an example of us just running split zone. This is with us as ninth graders back in 2017. You can see the defensive end was stand up. We've got good numbers, so we're going to call this to the left, to the H, but we know it's a gut to a cutback play. The defensive end on this is going to give us real simple, is he's going to go ahead and get upfield, and he's going to keep his shoulder square, so he's in no way an athlete to go ahead and tackle that running back. It's a give read all the way. With the access right off the bat, you can see he's out over, so we have no access, but we've got good numbers in the box, 6-on-6. So here's ninth graders running it. Again, this is lightning. Again, the thing I like about the gut play with the running back is he's going to be very decisive in any type of skill set. You have that fullback bruiser, or you've got that scat back guy, big or small, can be very successful running this. Here then is an example of where we're going to make it a give all the way. This is Penn State running, again, Rangers, but with a bongo. So you do this first, tells the receivers they're blocking on and over, tells the quarterback it's give all the way. So bongo, okay, and we're going to go Rangers. Watch here the gut and the cutback with it, all the way. So again, gut gets through, but then he knows his out is always out the back door. Again, we even get the quarterback after he does his fake, gets in the blocking. Again, great simple way to just go ahead and make it run all the way. Now, next phase is, let's say you got that quarterback who's not a runner, and you want to make this a true post-snap read all the way. We just changed the route, and this is one of our most common. In fact, this is our core route, and we changed the signal to a pop route, where the slot now is going to do a 2-level route. A is going to run classic 4 vertical bender read, where he's going to go where the safety isn't. The Z is going to run a 4-step flat slant, what we call a looky route, and replace underneath. So we get 2 levels there. And then the X will always run a 6-step and glance route. Now remember, our wide receivers have their inside foot back for their steps. If you're an outside foot back traditional coach, now you would run 1 less step, 3 steps here and 5 steps here. Skinny and flat with it. Now the quarterback is going to read again, since this is a cutback play. The conflict defender is the weak side Mr. Zero, woo, or weak side outside backer, however you want to do that. And we're going to go ahead and read him post snap. It's give. If he drops or does not get in the box, gets out of it. If he fills, if he fills at all, then we're going to go ahead and throw it. So let's go ahead and look at, with this, again, both got post snap reads with that. The signal with this is real simple, is now we're going to go ahead and go duo right again, and we're going to, for lightning, we don't have to make a call. We just turn our signal from an open hand to fist, because that's our signal for pop, and we go ahead and do that same FSU chop. So now we're going to go pop lightning. The quarterback would call it the number of the defender, the read key. In this case, we're saying it's 6. So this would be duo right, pop, lightning 6. He's just going to say lightning 6. Lightning 6. The receivers see the fist, and they know they're running a pop route. The quarterback sees the fist and knows now it's going into post-snap phase, reading the woo, and we're going to go true post-snap RPO. You can run this out of 3x1, which is really nice. Nothing changes because the Z and the A always run the pop combo, and the X always runs the glance. So this is an example of where you get too high, and what a lot of teams are doing, where the safety comes down into the box. So now the GOAT, which we say is our backside safety, becomes that weak outside backer a weak 0. If he replaces, we replace the replacer with a glance, and you're up. Here again is an example of Penn State doing that right here. So they're in a 3x1 trio left. We're going to now go ahead and pick on the backside with a single receiver read. Go ahead and play this for you to see it. You're going to see the goat come down into the box, easy read. Quarterback uses his rocker step where he keeps his shoulders square and throws right on rhythm. Great timing. That's why you want to take 6 steps a little deeper and then get skinny with the glance route. Matches up well. Now, slice zone. Let's say you've got that quarterback that is a real run threat. You can go to what's traditional zone read, and the slice terminology just tells the H that he's going to go slice around that defensive end instead of kicking him out and go block now that weak side outside backer or weak side Mr. Zero. The quarterback now, if he doesn't have pre-snap access to throw, this becomes a run-run option where again the defensive end, you read his hips and depth. If that defensive end does not get upfield, turns his hips, that's the one time he can keep it out the back door with it. Again, still going to be lightning. Now the difference is when we go slice is he doesn't say anything, but the signal instead of going vertical is we go this way, slice it. So again, this would be still lightning, but now he knows he's going to say lightning 3 because we're saying the defensive end is number 3, and that becomes our recognition key. Only the H and the quarterback have to know the difference of slice and regular split zone. So here's an example of our 9th graders running this. Same thing, 2x2. Same team we had just run split zone with. We actually have access here, so he could have thrown this, but you'll see the threat of the bubble brings that defender out of the box after the play. This time the defensive end, he stays on the line of scrimmage. He turns his hips down for the back, so now he's not an athlete to redirect on the quarterback, and we get 15 yards upfield. Again, defensive end stays on line, turns, simple give. The bubble pulls that guy just enough out of the box. Quarterback can be real decisive. Again, run, read option, slice zone. If you don't have that true blocking H-back, you can go to spread, either with the H, staying in as a receiver, or you can go ahead and bring in an A. We say anytime he's detached from that, now he's not going to block. This is where the H has to learn the concepts of the pass routes. So with the PSU bubble, if the H is to the X receiver side, he just matches that, and he would run what we call a stick route and out, or stick it a little deeper. Still got our bubble. Now we have inside out read with the out. It's all pre-snap for the quarterback. He doesn't like it. It turns into slice zone where he's doing that true defensive end read. So again, we still would go ahead and signal this as lightning like this, okay? Or you could do it this way, slice. The quarterback knows though there's no H attached to the line, so it's turning automatically into a run read option. If you do it out of 3x1, this is the concept piece. With bubble, the bubble receiver always is the receiver closest to the quarterback. So now the H would become the bubble when we'd have the X over here, and the A would help block with it. Again, pre-snap read with it. Again, we can run this at or away, and again, the quarterback is automatically going to read when the H is detached. It becomes true slice zone for him, reading the defensive end. Last one you can do is, again, you don't have that quarterback that you want to make run reads. You do a lucky signal. This and call was real simple. This is sign language for good luck. So you take your traditional spread zone or split zone signal, and you just go ahead and give the good luck with it. And now that becomes a lucky lightning. What happens here is, again, this is great with spread sets. He's going to run when you see lucky. Now we're going to go into our pop concept, peak pop. So we're going to run our pop routes that we showed earlier, that we were signaling with the fist. The H is detached. He's going to run a bender, hop bender read off of it. He's going again where the safety is not. The quarterback with this now automatically goes back to his pop rules. He's going to read the will backer anytime we do a peak signal, okay, or a peak route. Again, he fills, we can drill 1-2. He sits, we can go ahead and give that or make that into a run read off of it. Real simple. Lucky using spread zone with a traditional passing quarterback. To get into your play action, the simple ones off of this again, this is that compass thing I was talking about. We can do into a, it's what I call a stuttered bubble, where we're going to do bubble, fake, stock block, and go, in and out and up. Now we just add a north prefix, and the signal for that is we're going to do a tapping on top of the head. So we're on top of the head so the quarterback knows it's a north. Again, lightning, north, lightning. The receivers see this. They know they're running double moves, stuttered bubble. The H is still going to block. The B knows he does not get the ball with north. He's going to go ahead and fake and get into line and block. So we get great 7-man full slide protection here. The quarterback now is going to catch all the way, go ahead and fake the bubble or fake the out, and then we've got double move up the top, pass all the way. Again, you can turn this into, you have that true dual threat quarterback, turn this into a pass draw option, PDO. We still get the shot play opportunity, but once you go central now, middle of the face, we're going to take that tapping action right out from the nose, and then lightning. Now the line knows in the back, I'm going to go ahead and pass set 1001, 1002. Ball's not, then I'm going to take off and turn this into the run play. Quarterback's going to do the same thing. Going to take off, fake 1001, 1002. I don't like it. Now I'm going to take off and use my back as a lead blocker on who would be the conflict defender. Great 7-man blocking, pass draw. Last one, which I really like. Again, if there's one thing you do with split zone, whether you're a zone team or not, is just go ahead and put in classic split zone with the PSU bubble and with the pop concept, and then add this split screen with it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to still be able to get a triple read with this off of our split zone, but we're just going to add a screen component. The signal now here is screen south would be the bottom down by the chin. So we're going to go ahead and take this split, and we're going to go right into our FSU chop. So this would be split. We don't say it. The receivers see split from the chin. That tells them they're blocking, and it's split screen. The H knows he's getting screen on this. Again, linemen are still going to run this as a run play all the way. So the quarterback's going to go ahead and read that defensive end, just like he does for slice. Again, defensive end comes upfield or keeps his hips square, we're going to give it. But if he stays on the line, turns, now we're going to look to throw this to the receiver. If for some reason, the third thing is that defensive end just runs with the H-back, now it would be a quarterback, it could be a quarterback give. So again, real simple. Lightning, this is just split now. We're turning it into a screen. You can run that again towards the H. He has to understand the concept. With that, he does what's called a step, sit, and slip. So he's going to go ahead and step down like he's starting his J path, sit, and then he's going to slip out. The key with this play with the H, you'll see, is he wants to turn his back to the line of scrimmage and stay behind the line of scrimmage so we can make this a screen and have everybody blocking downfield. So let's go ahead and watch it here. This is going to be a split Rangers. The H is here. You're going to see come across. They're in a compressed set. We're going to go block these 1 and 2. And you're going to see that defensive end's going to go ahead and stay on the line. Easy picking, easy touchdown. Defensive end sits, disengage, easy, simple throw. It's really a long handoff. Here you're going to see it now. It's a split lightning. H is here. Come across. Now against Iowa, the defensive end comes upfield. So we just go back to our traditional give, and Barkley does what Barkley does. So again, defensive end comes upfield. Now it goes back to our first read, give. Hopefully you got a Barkley that just turns a 5-yard gain into a touchdown. The key here is it's one blocking scheme for the lineman all the way through. We can do a ton of different things. You pick which is the best return on the investment for the personnel you've got, and that would set up your teaching installation progression. Again, I like to always start with this because it's great fundamentals, a great way to install the whole system, and you can see the flexibility you've got from year to year and week to week. Thanks.